So that's the top story. We're tracking the results of the Brihanmumbai Municipal elections and what they mean now for the BJP and what they now mean for the Thackerays as well as the Congress and the Pawar. So let's take you through what we know till now and the leads as they stand. Remember, these results will only solidify by 6 p.m. However, it does mean after 27 years, the Thackerays are no longer in control of the BMC. So a big boost for the BJP-led Mahayuti heading for that big victory. The BJP-led alliance is leading in over 100 seats in the contest to win the most, remember it's the richest municipality in the country. So they're leading in over 100 seats. In fact, the Fadnavis, Chief Minister of Maharashtra, is expected any moment now to meet, to go to the headquarters. Celebrations, in fact, celebrations have been taking place since the afternoon, since those leads started coming in, and it was quite clear that the BJP was winning. The BJP-led alliance, as we said, is leading in over 100 seats. Remember, if the BJP does win in the, win the municipality, it does finally get its own mayor in Mumbai, and it will be appointing the mayor. This is something that they wanted for a very long time. These BMC elections were much delayed, remember, by 4 years, and after 27 years, you have the Thackerays losing control of the BMC. So it's an existential crisis, really, for the Thackerays. Well, let's go across to my colleague Vasudha now for more as she speaks to, Vasudha, who do you have with you?
We have a special guest here. While the BJP has registered a big win, Gargi, in BMC, another story is the PMC, which is the Pune Municipal Corporation. Both in Pune and in Pimpri-Chinchwad, the BJP has surged ahead. In fact, in PMC, it is a clean sweep for the BJP. The MP of Pune, the BJP in charge for Pune, MOS of Civil Aviation, Muralidhar Mahal, joins us now. Thank you, Mr. Mahal, for speaking to NDTV. First of all, congratulations, sir. बहुत बड़ी जीत है और आपका सामना तो बिल्कुल डेप्यूटी चीफ मिनिस्टर अजीत पवार के साथ हेड ऑन आपने उनको लिया था. ये पवार का बैस्टियन है. The Pawars came together. How do you feel about this win? Did you expect this?
बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है. बहुत फील अच्छा है. ये पुणेकर जनता जो है उन्होंने फिर एक बार विकास पे विश्वास व्यक्त किया, क्योंकि माननीय मोदी जी कहते हैं, देवेंद्र जी ने भी कहा है कि हम हर इलेक्शन ये विकास पे लड़ते हैं. विकास पे हमारा मुद्दा होता है. विकास यही मुद्दा होता है कि इलेक्शन का. लेकिन मुझे लगता है कि जो निगेटिविटी लेकर इलेक्शन में जिन्होंने चुनाव लड़ा है, तो उनको बिल्कुल पुणेकर जनता ने रिजेक्ट किया है. हम डेवलपमेंट में बात करते थे. हमने जो कुछ काम पिछले माननीय मोदी जी की गवर्नमेंट ने 11 साल में देवेंद्र जी के नेतृत्व में महाराष्ट्र सरकार म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन ने 5 साल एज ए रूलिंग पार्टी करके जो ट्रिपल इंजन की सरकार हम चला रहे थे, बिल्कुल पुणेकर जनता उस पे खुश है. पुणेकर जनता ने फिर एक बार हमें यहाँ पे क्लीनली मेजोरिटी में लाया है और हम पे क्लीन स्वीप देने में हम सफल हुए हैं. तो मुझे लगता है कि ये विश्वास पुणेकर जनता का है, काम के प्रति है, विकास के प्रति है.
मिस्टर महल, आपका सामना जो है डेप्यूटी चीफ मिनिस्टर अजीत पवार से हुआ था. अजीत पवार वहीं पे रहे थे इतने दिन और हमने देखा कि उनकी पार्टी ने कुछ ऐसे भी टिकट्स दिए थे क्रिमिनल्स को, जिसके खिलाफ आपने बहुत कुछ बोला भी था. आपने तब वो डिसीजन क्यों लिया और ये जो कैंपेन के बारे में आप क्या सोचते हैं?
बिल्कुल, लोगों ने इसी मुद्दे को लेके अगर एक आप डेवलपमेंट के छोड़कर अगर दूसरे मुद्दे पे अगर आप जाते हैं, निगेटिविटी लेकर आप निगेटिव कोई मुद्दा लेके इलेक्शन में जाते हैं, तो लोग आपको स्वीकार नहीं करेंगे. क्रिमिनल्स को लेके हो, भ्रष्टाचार को लेकर हो. जब 25-30 साल इन्होंने पुणे में अपना राज किया, दिल्ली से दिल्ली लेकर, यानी कि लोकल बॉडी से लेकर लोकसभा केंद्र सरकार तक सभी जगह पे इन्हीं की सरकार थी, इन्हीं की पार्टी काम करती थी एज ए रूलिंग पार्टी करके. तो भ्रष्टाचार हुआ था, लोगों ने इनको नकारा था, और उसके बावजूद आज फिर उन्होंने कहा कि नहीं, मुझे आप सत्ता में लाइए. तो किस लिए लाइए? इसके लिए मुझे लगता है कि उन्होंने जो कुछ उनकी रणनीति थी, जो उन्होंने प्रयास यहाँ किए, क्रिमिनल्स को उनको कैंडिडेट बनाया और भ्रष्टाचार के मुद्दे को वो बोलने लगे, तो लोगों ने कहा कि भाई आप यही करते थे, इसलिए तो हमने आपको बाहर निकाला है. आज फिर वही करने आप यहाँ पे आओगे तो हम चुनकर थोड़ी आपको देंगे. मुझे लगता है कि मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में, देवेंद्र जी के विजन में पुणे का भविष्य जो है सुरक्षित है, सेफ है. यही पुणेकर जनता ने मुझे लगता है इसी पे विश्वास किया पूरा समर्थन बीजेपी को दे दिया।
मिस्टर महल, आप देवेंद्र फडणवीस द चीफ मिनिस्टर के काफी क्लोज माने जाते हैं। देवेंद्र फडणवीस द चीफ मिनिस्टर हैज नाउ ट्वीटेड and he has said, and I quote, BJP writes history once again at the Municipal Corporation election 2025-2026 under the visionary leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji and under the guidance of BJP National President and Honorable Union Minister JP Nadda, and he has also thanked Amit Bhai Shah, which is the Home Minister, and he has also thanked Nitin Nabin, who's the working president, and all the workers of the BJP. Mr. Mahal, what kind of win is this for Devendra Fadnavis? आपने उनके साथ बहुत बहुत सालों से काम किया है, आप उनके एक तरीके से बहुत काफी क्लोज साथी माने जाते हैं. What does this mean for Devendra Fadnavis?
बिल्कुल, देवेंद्र जी के नेतृत्व में पूरे राज्य की इलेक्शन हमने लड़ी है. देवेंद्र जी जो पूरे राज्य का एक मुझे लगता है कि विकसित महाराष्ट्र का जिन्होंने सपना देखा है, विकसित महाराष्ट्र को संकल्प को पूरा करने के लिए जिस तरह से वो काम कर रहे हैं, तो पूरा महाराष्ट्र देख रहा है. पुणे की जनता भी जब वो पुणे में आते हैं तो पुणे के 50 साल के आगे के विजन के बारे में बोलते हैं. आगे के 50 साल में पुणे शहर, जो पुणे सिटी नॉन कैपिटल सिटी कहते हैं, जीसीसी का कैपिटल बनाने के वो बोलते हैं. पुणे में पाताल लोक के माध्यम से 54 किलोमीटर के अंडरग्राउंड रोड बनाएंगे. ऐसे बहुत सारे डेवलपमेंट की बातें वो करते हैं. तो लोगों को पता है कि देवेंद्र जी माने की विजनरी लीडर है. देवेंद्र जी माने की यानी कि विकास के बारे में सोचने वाला लीडर है. तो मुझे लगता है कि यही हमारे कार्यकर्ताओं की सोच भी कि ऐसा नेता, ऐसा नेतृत्व हमें मिला है जिसके माध्यम से हम काम कर रहे हैं, जिसके नेतृत्व में हम काम कर रहे हैं. तो जनता इन पर विश्वास करती है. विश्वास करने वाला, विश्वास संपादन प्राप्त करने वाला हमारा नेता जनता का विश्वास संपादन उन्होंने किया है. मुझे लगता है कि हम भी बहुत खुद को खुशनसीब समझते हैं कि ऐसे कार्यकर्ता है जो देवेंद्र जी के नेतृत्व में काम कर रहे हैं.
राइट मिस्टर महल, मेरा आखिरी सवाल, आप तमिलनाडु के को इंचार्ज भी हैं पार्टी की तरफ से. तमिलनाडु के फॉर्मर प्रेसिडेंट अन्नामलाई जी ने काफी एक जो है कंट्रोवर्सी क्रिएट की थी मुंबई में. बीएमसी में क्या उसका असर कुछ पड़ा है? क्योंकि उसके खिलाफ राज ठाकरे ने काफी ऐसे बयान दिए थे जो काफी डेरिगेटरी और इंसल्टिंग माना गया था.
तो मुझे लगता है कि अन्नामलाई जी ने ऐसा कोई भी गलत बयान नहीं दिया था. उसको ट्विस्ट किया गया. उन्होंने ये कहा था कि महाराष्ट्र में मुंबई, केवल मुंबई महाराष्ट्र की नहीं, देश की है. अभी मुंबई ये तो क्या देश की, अगर हम देखते हैं तो एक फाइनेंशियल कैपिटल है हमारी. तो मुंबई देश की, यानी कि मुंबई का गौरव ही है ना उसमें. उन्होंने ऐसा कुछ गलत नहीं, लेकिन इन्होंने एज ए इलेक्शन के सामने है तो चुनाव के नतीजे तो आने वाले थे, इनको पता था. तो कुछ ना कुछ कंट्रोवर्सी बनाने का, करने का इन्होंने प्रयास किया और उनको जो स्टेटमेंट था उसको बरोड़ दिया, उसको ट्विस्ट किया. मुझे नहीं लगता उसमें कुछ गलत था और आखिर में जनता ने जवाब तो दे ही दिया ना.
एब्सोल्युटली मिस्टर महल, और आपको लगता है कि ये दोनों पवार्स जो है ये साथ आएंगे या सिर्फ एक स्टॉप गैप अरेंजमेंट था इलेक्शंस के लिए?
मुझे पता नहीं, लेकिन ये क्या इन्होंने इन दोनों फैमिलीज में उनका क्या निर्णय है पता नहीं. लेकिन पुणे में दोनों एक साथ आए, मुंबई दोनों ठाकरे फैमिली एक साथ आई. लेकिन लोगों को सेंटिमेंट से कुछ लेना देना नहीं होता. लोगों को काम से और विकास से मतलब होता है. मुझे लगता है अगर वो एक होते भी है तो अच्छा है. उसमें हमें कोई दिक्कत आने की संभावना नहीं, क्योंकि जरूरत भी नहीं है. लेकिन लोगों को सेंटिमेंट्स के बजाय विकास पे, लोगों को डेवलपमेंट पे लोग विश्वास करते हैं.
Right, that was Muridhar Mahal there. Thank you, Mr. Mahal, for speaking to NDTV. The Pune MP of the BJP, also MOS Civil Aviation, a man who's also seen responsible for the party's performance in Pune. Back to you, Gargi.
All right, Vasudha, thanks so much for that, and really emphasis on development and, talking about Devendra Fadnavis's promise and saying that is what the voters are looking at. Put aside all the controversies that have taken place. And there were a lot of controversies on the, election ground, as we saw a lot of back and forth, lot of derogatory statements as well. But all that in the past now. Let's go across to our reporters, and we can go across to Ankit, also Saurabh, and is also joining us, and Anuj. Ankit, you're at the BJP headquarters there, and we all saw that phone conversation Devendra Fadnavis had with the BJP, state president. Tell us what is happening over there and what is expected. When is the chief minister arriving?
Well, the Chief Minister is taking his time, so he's being cautious because the official results have only come out of 85 constituencies so far, and in that, at least in the first 85 constituencies, it's a very tight contest with BJP plus at 40 and the MNS along with Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray standing at 30. So he's waiting. But of course, the celebratory mood already here at the BJP headquarters. Ashwini will show you around. They are waiting for the Chief Minister. Initially, he was supposed to come at 3:30. Now we are told that at least an hour more. So by 5 o'clock, we are expecting Devendra Fadnavis, the Chief Minister, to come here. So all those, dhol tashas are waiting for the Chief Minister's arrival. But I've been here, since morning, and it was a slow pickup for the celebratory mood here at the BJP headquarters. The flags came up at around 12 o'clock. And then as the numbers kept coming in, trends kept coming in, there was, of course, all this activity. The entire area has been fluttered completely. Every nook and corner has been put with the BJP flags. Flower decoration arrangement has also been put inside. The massive police security that you are seeing at this moment is also, just anticipation for the Chief Minister. That's the stage where Devendra Fadnavis will be speaking to the media, to the Karyakartas, those who are here. And, all across at this moment, there is only that anticipation. Deva Bhau is what we are hearing. He has established himself as the Neta number 1 in Maharashtra. BJP, the most dominant party. This was a dream as far as the BJP is concerned, not only to become the single largest party, reach close to the 100 mark as far as the wards are concerned, but also have their own mayor. And if these numbers consolidate into results which are hovering around 120, 125, 126 for the BJP alliance, Mahayuti, then they will have a BJP alliance after 27 years here in Maharashtra, in Mumbai. And it is going to be a very, very important twist as far as the politics and the dominance of the state is concerned. And on one hand, of course, the Thackeray family, but Gargi, let me also add a caveat. The Thackeray family, especially the Uddhav Thackeray, the numbers that they are at, somewhere around 74, 75, it's not that bad showing. United Shiv Sena had 84. They are down to 75 with a faction, and Shinde Sena, the Shiv Sena Shinde, has about 30 odd. So the Marathi Manus vote, the whole plank that they played, though there was massive counter-polarization, but has largely still supported the Thackerays. I think it's not a bad day in that aspect. Of course, being out of power brings its challenges of its own. What it would mean is, in the next 3 years, till the time the general elections take place, that will be the election that they will be fighting. How do you hold on to your cadre and these councillors? That is going to be a challenge for Uddhav Thackeray. But at this moment, I can tell you there are these anticipations. Let me also try. Bhamla Saab, let me just try and go and get you some reactions. How are you, Bhamla Saab? What do you make of this victory?
This is a phenomenal victory. First time ever we have got this victory of the mayor. Of course, state we won a couple of times. But this was unexpected, and the people have proved that the legacy is dynastic. All this is, of no use, and there is the dynasts have been put to rest.
But how are you saying that? I mean, the United Shiv Sena had 84. They have only come down to 74, 75 right now. The Marathi Manus plank has worked for them.
The problem with the media is what you all are just thinking about Mumbai and Thane. I'm talking about the state.
I'll come to that. I'll come to. Let's start about Mumbai.
Take even one meeting. They did not have the courtesy to even have one meeting of their workers in their state, in the Nagar Palikas. Mumbai mein theek hai, they must have got. I agree, and we welcome that.
Yeah.
We also need a strong opposition.
Yeah.
There should be an opposition, and we welcome that. But what I'm trying to tell you is, see the narrative. The negative narrative doesn't work. Lungi utao, pungi bajao, North Indian. ये सारा नहीं चलता है. लोगों को विकास चाहिए. और देवेंद्र जी ने
I want to ask you, is he now the biggest brand as far as the netas in Maharashtra are concerned? Neta number 1. He has established himself.
I want to correct you. He is not now. He was always. It's been past 7-8 years. Ever since he left and he became the CM the first time, he was the biggest brand. And he's not become of a brand because of his legacy. His father. He is not coming from a very nepo family. He has come from his hard work. You've seen him as an opposition leader. He used to roll like a lion.
Do you also see a big role in the future for him in the national level of the BJP?
Of course, he's in all. He's fully deserving, and I'm sure everybody's talking about it. And we would be more than happy. Who more than us from Mumbai? The Mumbaikar and the Nagpur people, the entire state will be a moment of pride for the whole state to have seeing him in that platform, because he genuinely deserved it out of his sheer hard work. And let me tell you, he was one leader throughout the elections. He was accessible to every corporator who was contesting.
Thank you, Mr. Bamla. Asif Bamla there, spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, is in Mumbai. And what he said, also resonates as far as the political fortunes of Devendra Fadnavis is concerned. And that is why for a lot of people, those who have been saying, why so much focus on a municipality election here in Mumbai, it has resonance. And this will, of course, have resonance in the national power play, not only of the BJP, but,
absolutely, Ankit. And I like the way you slipped in that question about, Devendra Fadnavis on the national stage there. And imagine he's somebody who in June 2024 was offering to resign as the Deputy Chief Minister, and look at the moment he's having right now. But let's talk about the Thackerays. And Ankit, you made a very important point there, saying, while a lot is being talked about the existential crisis for the Thackerays, they have not done that badly. And we did see celebrations also taking place there. And I'd like to go across to Saurabh. Saurabh, you're there at Matashri. Tell us what is happening there. What have the reactions been so far? As I was saying to Ankit, a lot of talk about existential crisis for the Thackerays, but they've had a fairly decent showing.
Well, this has been perhaps the most challenging election in Uddhav Thackera's life. He's, of course, had to deal with an ally that did not turn up at the last minute and chose to go it alone. He's had to deal with his party being broken away, defectors, and then, practically walking away with most of the party. And then on top of that, becoming the target of the resources, of the manpower and the election machinery of the BJP. In all of these three challenges, in spite of all of these three challenges, Uddhav Thackere has managed to retain somewhat of what he won in 2017. And at that time, remember, it was an alliance with the BJP. Eknath Shinde was still in the Shiv Sena. The Congress, of course, was nowhere in the picture. But obviously, it was on a much strong ground that he fought that election. And to have won around 70 odd seats, down maybe about 15 odd seats, is something that is a performance that the Sena wouldn't be too unhappy about. But yes, losing control of the BMC is a major blow. There's no one who will deny that. For the Shiv Sena, the BMC has been the main power equation that they've shared with the BJP. And all these years they've been in alliance with the BJP, being the junior partner. Things actually started worsening with the BJP was when the BJP made its intention clear that it did not want to be a second fiddle to the Shiv Sena. It wanted to establish its own presence in Mumbai and eventually also aim for the mayor's post. In comes Devendra Fadnavis, leads the BJP to this number that the BJP seems to be set now on winning. Devendra Fadnavis emerging as the undisputed leader of the BJP in Maharashtra. But I'd like to just give you a slight, clarification on what I heard Mr. Bhamla say. I think I don't think Devendra Fadnavis, even if he has national ambitions, is looking at that right just now. For now, his focus remains Maharashtra, and what I've been told is that he wants to build his legacy in Maharashtra. And when the time arrives, when the party decides that okay, it's time to, make a new second crop of leaders, national faces, that's the time he's going to pitch himself as perhaps a contender. Right now, he remains focused on Maharashtra. But for Uddhav Thackere, he becomes the main face of the opposition in Maharashtra.
Right, Saurabh, being from Delhi, I think Ankit and I are focused on the national stage as well. But let's go across to Sujata now, who joins us from a counting center. Sujata, tell us what is happening there, because, all these numbers are only going to finalize at around 6 p.m. What is happening? Tell us around there.
Well, at present, we are done with the counting center coverage, and I'm currently at the Balasaheb Bhavan, the office of the Eknath Shinde-led Shiv Sena, and just a few hundred meters from here is the BJP headquarters, where the Chief Minister is likely to arrive shortly. But before that, let me show you the visuals of Balasaheb Bhavan, a place where all of the senior leaders will be arriving shortly. And also we tried speaking to some of the party workers here who were seen celebrating with sweets and firecrackers. And thereafter they had to say that the almost decades-old hegemony has now finally ended, and this was a test for the Shiv Sena split that we saw, and the Eknath Shinde-led Shiv Sena, the party workers, and all of the grassroots level cadres. They tried their best to give it all for this particular election, and they say that this has finally brought colors to the plate, and henceforth Shiv Sena too currently has performed fairly well in the BMC elections. And also we see that currently the counting is on, and it is likely to be concluded just a few hours from now. But of course the numbers have already spoken for itself. An unprecedented win for the Mahayuti, and as they remain undefeated, this is also an answer for the Thackeray brothers whether did their narrative of the Marathi Manus really work. Now the party workers, of course, out of which a handful of them were also Marathi speaking population. They were the Maharashtrian community who had been living here for quite centuries now, and they had to say that it is the narrative of urban development that only works in Maharashtra from now on. And of course for Mumbai, it is the development of the urban population, and also because of several other factors of the work that was done by the Mahayuti in the recent few years after the 2022 Shiv Sena split, when the Mahayuti was formed, and after NDTV joined hands. This factor of development-driven progress somewhere led to the voter coming out in numbers and voting for the Mahayuti is what these leaders believed. And at the same time, they also stated that this is going to be a great win for the Mahayuti ahead as well, and the mayor will be that of the Mahayuti only. Back to you.
Right, Sujata and Anuj, we will just come to you. But yes, Sujata making important points about, the identity of Mumbai, the fact that it's the financial capital, a cosmopolitan city, also the kind of identity, ugly politics that we saw playing out. So that has been something that we've seen in the run-up to the BMC elections. But what are the larger ramifications of these results? So let's just take a look at that, what it now means, the BMC results for the BJP, for the Thackerays, for all of the various families and the parties. All right, so let's take you through the results and what it means now for the BJP, and bringing you that the highest ever results for the BJP in the BMC elections, and that has been one of course, the big results, and finally that triple engine sarkar for the BJP in Mumbai, and they are going to finally get their mayor as well. So highest ever tally emerging as a dominant force there. Also what it means for the Shiv Sena and what becomes now the real Shiv Sena. Remember, that's always been a tussle ever since Eknath Shinde broke away the big faction of the Shiv Sena and said that he is the real Shiv Sena. So what this now means, who becomes the real Shiv Sena, and the Shinde Sena is a key partner in the ruling coalition. So Eknath Shinde holding steady there. Many thought that in the BMC elections that, the Eknath Shinde Shiv Sena would not get the kind of support, but they're holding on and will be a part of the ruling coalition. Also what it now means for the Uddhav Thackeray Shiv Sena, as we've been, saying since midday perhaps, losing control after 27 years of the BMC, losing hold over traditional core, existential crisis for Uddhav Thackeray, though in some Marathi, strongholds they have held on. Also what it means for the NCP, because let's talk about Pune and Pimpri Chinchwad elections, where you had the Pawar Parivar coming together essentially for the municipal elections, but it really did not have the results they were hoping for. In fact, the BJP, doing very well in Pune and Pimpri Chinchwad, Pawar's out of favor there. And what it means for the Congress went it alone in this election, in the BMC elections, and minor opposition force holding on to minority votes. So that really is what these election results so far have meant now for, if we, for the moment, take a look at the larger ramifications. But let's now go across to Anuj who joins us from the BMC office. And Anuj, you know, a lot of identity politics playing out ahead of the elections. But down to it, it is also about, you know, the basics, the civic necessities for Mumbaikars. And now we're going to see big changes in the BMC and after 4 years, a mayor for Mumbai.
Big changes indeed, yes, because you know, in the last 4 years we've seen that the city has gone through a lot, so much so that you know, AQI has become an electoral problem now. When we were speaking to voters yesterday, many of them said that they are keeping in mind the fact that the throat is not good before casting a vote. So you know, almost one generation of not just the candidates but also the voters, at least half of it has passed with since the last elections were held in 2017. There is so much of water that has passed under the bridge since then, but the having elected representatives back to the office is definitely going to mean something positive for the city, irrespective of which party comes to the power. When we look at the manifestos provided by both the parties, you know, we saw that there were several women-friendly schemes or policies that were put in place. Well, partly it was, of course, to make sure that they hop onto the bandwagon of making sure that they get maximum amount of women votes, something that has been the mantra in the last few months as far as elections in Maharashtra are concerned. And secondly, because that genuinely is the interest of political parties here in Maharashtra at the moment. They've looked at women as important electoral tools, but the fact that, you know, development in infrastructure, development in transport facilities would be made easier and more accessible for women would mean that there would be an overall development that would hopefully take place and help the city grow as a whole. Now, at the same time, we also have several other institutions under the BMC, right? BMC is not one single, although it is a single integrated body, but there are several important bodies that come under it. Like we have the BEST, the Best Services, which manage the bus service and the electricity here in Mumbai. Now, we've all been talking about and we've been covering about the sorry state of buses here in Mumbai. The number of people, just to put it into some sort of context, there are 32 lakh people approximately who take buses on a regular basis here in Mumbai, but the number of buses is not more than 5,000. There are also several you know, petitions being filed and demands being made by civic groups to increase the number of electric buses. There are still no buses allowed on the coastal roads. So yes, you know, making public transport easy, working towards helping the city reduce or curb its pollution, and making sure, of course, that the city becomes pothole-free place here in the state of Maharashtra would definitely you know, be amongst the top agendas of the elected representatives, or at least that is what the people would be hoping for. But you know, irrespective of who has come to power, I think Mumbaikars would in general be happy that they have someone to hold accountable. For the last 4 years, we saw that there were bureaucrats and there were administrators who were largely inaccessible, not just to the media but also to the people. And you know, so solving problems and addressing it to any single integrated unit became a challenge for a lot of people. And now they have the right to go and talk to their corporator and get the work done, not just you know, the one that matters at the very top level, but also something as simple as getting the street outside their house cleaned.
All right, Anuj, thanks so much for joining us with those details. So yes, for Mumbaikars, a relief to finally have someone they can hold accountable for all their woes when it comes to roads, to traffic, to various, you know, civic issues.